Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, the 26th of September. It is Monday. I had to actually look in the notification area, system tray part of my Windows to take a look at what the date and time was. I don't know otherwise. Oh my gosh, my hair. I'm fixating on my hair again. I have fixated on my hair my entire life. Why change now? Well, just got back from my constitutional. In fact, I had fallen asleep again pretty much all night. And then woke up at like 5:30 and then went out on my walk. Walked all around town. Nice and cold, very freezing. Wore my coat, which is just a long sleeve flannel shirt. By the time I got back, I was cold again, but for different reasons. Because I had kept my sleeves buttoned up and all that, I'd been sweating while I walked a bit. And so my shirt was a little damp from sweat, and it's really cold outside, and so I started off really cold, and ended up really cold. Not freezing, I wasn't damp, I was not like I dunked in water or anything, but I was a little sweaty from walking like 7 miles and going up the bloody hills to come up here. It's the problem with living, halfway up a set of pretty tall hills. I mean, we climb up. I'm probably 100 feet above this one spot where when you go up the one hill that I always complain about and I show in my videos where I walk around, in a space of about 500 feet, which is like 3 blocks, it raises 125 feet. And that's pretty big. But from there, further up to where I live, it's another 7 blocks. But it raises up like another 100 feet while it's doing that. So we're way up. In fact, the weather's different up here. When it snows, which it did a couple years ago, but when it does occasionally snow, it'll be snowy up here in the hills of Shelton, wherein we go drive down into the rest of town, and there's no snow anywhere. So we get snowed in up here in the hills. What can I say? It's not even you can't even say, oh, we live in the snobby rich part of town. It's just, no, we just live in an area where there's hills. I wish we were rich. I'd like to have money. That'd be fun. I've never really had money. The one time that short period of time, for about 2 years when I was married to my wife, for that period of time, I was making my approximately $25,000 a year as a nurse's aide. She was making about $60,000 a year as an actual nurse, a licensed practical nurse. So altogether, we were making about $70,000, $80,000 a year. And for that first year and two, life was tight, but it wasn't extremely tight. We were living on the upstairs of her parents' home. And so we paid them rent for living upstairs. And we bought all of our food and all that. So we had a place to live. We paid for that. We paid for utilities and all that. And that's how we lived. But then a year and a half after that was when she was pregnant with my son. And things went downhill from there really, really fast. And both she and the baby nearly died. Emergency cesarean birth. And after that, her heart failed so badly that they were trying desperately to get her healed up enough from the cesarean so that they could go in and do the heart surgery. And it was so tight that the very day that they had her in on surgery, that was the very last day. She was basically dying on the table. If they hadn't gotten into her that day, that would have been it. And then I spent the next 10 years watching her die slowly. But that's just the way life is. I mean, it's the way life happens. I'm always going to have a Jennifer, because that was her name. I'm always going to have a Jennifer-shaped hole in my heart, and it's always going to hurt. It will hurt less, but it will never stop hurting, which is okay. I'd rather hurt than forget, so that's okay. Now, I'm going to say this because I really like saying this. It is an awesome thing. It helps me, and I think it's a good thing for everybody else as well. Bom dia. Diagwit, Labrit, Ahanyo Aseo. Dzień Dobry, or, less formally, Cześć. Now, Polish is a plus 10 difficulty language, and I actually talk slower than I do. My webcam speech is about half speed from my non-webcam speech, so really instead of it being Cześć, it's Cześć. And even better, but I can't speak Polish. Terahomokos, Barilus, Gomarias, Buenos Dias, Diadit, which is Scots Gaelic, whereas Diagwit, that one's Irish. And Boreda, Yoragelt, Matenva, Bongiorno, Dobro Utro, Bokertov, Ohio, Kamusta, Gomorgan, Ni hao, Privyet, Bonjour, Guten Tag, Kalimera, Dobre Rano, Godmornon. Godmornon? Godmorgon. That one's better. Godmornon. What the heck was that? That was like an English. Not English. That was an alien phrase from a different planet. Labas Ritas, Merhaba, and go forth and have the crack. Now, don't go forth and have the crack cocaine. Have the crack, which is good food, good drink, good friends. Doesn't necessarily require alcohol, but of course that's part of what the good drink is. But as long as it's good food, good drink, could be water, wine, some other form of alcohol if you're of age, or Sprite or anything. As long as it's good and you enjoy it. Good drink and good friends. So thumbs up. I am very sorry. I wanted to have the Filthy Frank vomit cake thing, but I've got to be able to get to where I can get fast food and get back. And no fast food restaurant is really close enough for me to get to without needing a ride. And to have a ride means my friends would be here, and I'm not going to be able to do that because they don't want to watch that Filthy Frank or watch me do the Filthy Frank challenge. So I can't do it when they're here, so I need to do it when they're not here, which means I need to somehow get food without being able, fast food without being able to need a ride. And it's logistically it's a problem right now because my vehicle, I need to get a jump on the battery or a new battery. I need to get it charged fully because right now, the last time I drove fine. We jumped it. Drove it for a half hour. It's just I turned it off and that wasn't long enough to charge the battery, so it was still dead. Very frustrating. I got videos I'm going to be working on. I don't know necessarily if I'm going to have any game videos, and I know I'm behind on Firewatch. I've been trying to catch up on gaming. But I'm getting there. I got reaction videos I'm doing. And I'm sorry if anyone felt left out over the weekend about the way I had done it. My weekend fell apart so much time-wise because my friend's schedule has changed. I was falling asleep 90% of the time. I was so far behind, and I'm so sorry. Please forgive me for that. So I got all those things to get done, and hopefully, again, I'm not going to fall asleep and be all late trying to get it all finished. So here's hoping. Oh, I did want to say again, thank you everybody so ever much. I just recently passed 39,000 subscribers. Thank you all so very much. You know, when I first started doing this, I figured if I had 5 subscribers, I would be doing great. And I didn't even worry about that sort of thing. I was just grasping a lifeline, something to stay alive. And then I got 100 subscribers. And boy, I was proud of that. And then I worked myself up to 1,000 subscribers. And then to 2,000. And then suddenly 10 and 20. And now I'm almost at 40,000. And something that I thought would never happen. I'm almost halfway to the point of getting 100,000 subscribers and 100,000 subscriber plaque from YouTube. if I could get that 100,000 subscribers and a 100,000 subscriber plaque from YouTube, I would probably have a stroke from sheer pleasure. But even forgetting the stroke part, that would be so awesome. And of course, I would be having the little thing there so I could show people. It is, of course, you all that are the amazing ones. I mean, thank you for watching me. Thank you for thinking that I'm even halfway interesting. Thank you for finding me even a little bit funny. I do appreciate that so very much. That is so very awesome. But if it weren't for you, I would just be some crazy person. So, thank you all so very, very much. It is greatly appreciated. We're in a collaborative effort together to see what we're going to do on this channel. So, thumbs up. I'm part of the equation, but you all are the rest. And that's awesome. I'm just the small part of it. You guys are the huge one. And I like it. I've seen amazing things happen in the comments in the community. Yeah, we've had our share of trolls, and we still do, and people that anti-helpful. But on the whole, I mean, you're always going to have trolls. They've always had trolls even back in the Roman times that would scrabble graffiti on the wall. So you'll never get away from that. But like I say, on the whole, I am so proud of what I see down in the comment sections. It's awesome. You people are going like, gosh, can you do that? And someone goes, well, he did. Here's the URL. And it's like, thank you. And it's like, that is so awesome. Thank you all so much. Well, I'm going to start a-working. So you take care. Have a great day. Come on, hand. There we go. Have a great day. You take care. I will see you on the flip side and in the videos coming up. So take care. Have a great day, and I'll see you then. That's a very good thing.